Saudi Arabia's biggest asset is not its oil, its economy, or its mega projects. It is its people, the youth, the women breaking barriers, and the communities preserving traditions while shaping the future.
Welcome to One in Tribe. I am your host, Julie Fidalgo, and today I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Shahad Almutairi. Shahad is an experienced human resource professional. She has honed her expertise across various industries, including oil and gas, aviation, and telecommunications. In addition to her broad HR expertise, Shahad is currently concentrating on the people and culture strategy, aiming to foster a positive organizational culture and improve employee experience, both of which she believes are crucial to long-term business success. Welcome, Shahad, to the show.
It's a true pleasure to be here, Julie. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm especially excited to be part of this for a couple of reasons. First, it's an honor to be the first Saudi female guest on your show, One in Tribe. And second, I genuinely believe your platform fills an important gap in storytelling and communication within the MENA region by offering an English speaking space. You have created an opportunity for us to share our stories and experiences in a way that's accessible to a broader global audience. So kudos to you and congratulations on this amazing work you are doing.
Thank you so much. That was so sweet, unexpected, and very kind of you. I'm also very excited. I think you are the perfect person to have as my first Saudi woman on the show. Obviously, like to start at the very beginning. Please tell our audience where you're from, where you were raised, and where you currently reside.
I born in a small town in Riyadh region called Afif, and I raised between Riyadh and Yamba. I finished the college at Yamba University College, as you know before, majored in human resources management. Then I started my career at Riyadh. Now I'm located at Riyadh officially.
Great. And Saudi Arabia, I know a lot about Saudi. I haven't visited yet, but just for our Western audience, Saudi is a kingdom and it's ruled by a monarchy. And it's only 92 years old. It was established on September 23rd, 1932.
That's correct.
And obviously, these days we are hearing more about Saudi. So, why don't we jump in? Let's start talking about the people of Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so the people of Saudi Arabia, when we talk about Saudi Arabia's transformation, we often focus on mega projects, economic growth, and futuristic cities. But the real driving force behind all of this change is the people, the heart and the soul of Saudi Arabia. Is its people, its youth, its leaders, its innovators, and its communities that are balancing tradition with progress in an expectational way. Saudi Arabia is home to over 32 million people. And what makes this country truly unique is its youthful energy. With nearly 70% the population under the age of 35. Saudi Arabia is one of the youngest nations in the world. This means that the future is being shaped by a generation that is tech savvy, ambitious, and eager to create change. Um, Young Saudis today are at the center of the kingdom's transformation. They are launching startups, developing new technologies, leading creative industries, and redefining also what it means to be Saudi in a modern world. The younger generation is making an impact across all industries. Um, Saudi Arabia is also home to millions of expatriates from all over the world. These individuals contribute to the economy, enrich the culture more, and help drive progress in industries like healthcare, education, or technology, and engineering also. As the kingdom opens up through new residency and investment programs, it is becoming an increasingly global society while staying true to its roots. I think one of the most beautiful aspects of Saudi Arabia is its cultural diversity across different regions. The kingdom is not just one identity, uh, it is a collection of deeply rooted traditions that vary from the mountains of Asir to the desert of Najd and the coastal life of Jeddah. Each region has its own customs, music, clothing, and even dialects, creating a rich national identity that is both unified and diverse. Personally, being born in Afif, a small town in the Riyadh region, and raised between Riyadh and Yamba, I have experienced this diversity firsthand. Growing up between different environments and cultures gave me a deeper appreciation for the unique character each region brings to our shared heritage. Also, when we talk about people of Saudi Arabia, we should talk about the most remarkable transformations happening today is the role of women in society. Just a decade ago, opportunities for women were more limited. Uh, but today, Saudi women are taking leading roles across industries, proving that they are a key part of the nation's progress. Um, Women in Saudi Arabia are now CEOs, as you see, ministers, entrepreneurs, and leaders in industries like finance, for example, technology, and entertainment. Their workforce participation has nearly doubled in recent years, and they are making a significant impact on the national economy. From Saudi female athletes competing on the world stage to women making waves in filmmaking, fashion, or music, we are seeing a historic moment where Saudi women are taking center stage in areas that were once considered off limits. Um, I think education is also playing a huge role in this shift. More women than ever are pursuing degrees in STEM, artificial intelligence, and business science. This means that the future of Saudi Arabia is being shaped by a more diverse and inclusive workforce, bringing fresh ideas and perspectives to the table. Also, one of the most fascinating things about Saudi Arabia today is how it balances deep rooted traditions with rapid modernization. Unlike some nations that see modernization as a break from the past, Saudi Arabia is proving that it is possible to move forward while staying connected to one's cultural heritage. Um, Saudi youth are embracing global influences through technology, social media, and entertainment, while preserving key cultural values like hospitality, family, and respect of tradition. We see this in everyday life, from traditional gatherings in the Majlis to young entrepreneurs building digital businesses that cater to both local and global markets.
So, a couple of things. You touched on so many things that I want to ask about. First of all, I didn't realize, I knew that Saudi had a very high percentage of youth. I didn't realize it was that high. My first question do most of the youth in Saudi speak English?
The youth, the young people in Saudi Arabia, they are speaking English fluently. They are studying in college in English.
You spoke about women in the industry or in the workplace. One thing that our audience might not know that until 2018, women weren't even allowed to drive.
Yeah.
And so in this short span, they've come such a long way. How how is the society coping with this transition that has been so fast?
The people of Saudi Arabia are not just embracing change, they are driving it. Saudi Arabia is ensuring that modernization does not came at the cost of cultural identity. So at the end of the day, Saudi Arabia's biggest asset is not its oil, its economy, or its mega projects. Um, it is its people, the youth, the women, breaking barriers, communities, preserving traditions while shaping the future, the entrepreneurs and the dreamers. This is not just national progress, it's personal. It's the story of millions who are redefining what's possible, not just for Saudi Arabia, but for themselves. And that's what makes this moment in history so powerful. It belongs to the people. Um, One of the most defining aspects of Saudi people and culture is hospitality. It's not just about offering coffee and dates. It's about deep-rooted value of generosity, of making people feel welcome, of treating a guest like family. This is not something that's fading with modernization. If anything, it's becoming an even stronger part of our identity as we open our doors to the world.
Yeah, that's one thing that inspired me to start this podcast is the generosity and hospitality and kindness of Arabs. And I had an experience in Jordan that really was just incredible where we wanted to buy a Band-Aid, but we also wanted water and they didn't have the water we wanted. And so they gave us the Band-Aid, but they didn't want to charge us. And then when we went back with change to give him the money for the Band-Aid, he didn't accept it. And we ran out of the store and he literally ran after us like, take your money back. And it was something so small, but something so significant. And I
Yes.
think that's something that is completely overlooked about the culture of Arabs, and their generosity is unlike anything I've ever experienced in any other culture. And I love to hear also that with the openness of the country, that it's just getting stronger. That's such a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
that these cultural aspects are just increasing.
I think culture is not just something we preserve, it's something we live. It's in the way we speak, the way we gather, the way we pass down stories. And in Saudi Arabia, culture is not just a reflection of the past, it's an active force uh, shaping the future today. Let's talk about what makes Saudi cultural identity so rich, how it is evolving and evolving on the world stage, and how globalization is influence in it in ways that are both exciting and deeply personal. To understand where Saudi Arabia is going, you have to understand where it comes from. This land has been home to civilizations for thousands of years, from the Nabateans of Al Ula to the old trade roads that connected the Arabian Peninsula to the world. History is not something distinct here, it's something you feel in the streets of Dir'iyah, for example, or an old Jeddah al Balad. Before skyscrapers and mega projects, Saudi culture was built on something much simpler words. Poetry has been a cornerstone of identity for centuries. From the verses of pre Islamic poets to the Nabati poetry still celebrated today. Even now, in a digital world, Saudis are natural storytellers, whether through film or even the way we use social media to express humor and heritage. For example, let's take a look how Saudi Arabia's nation branding impact on Vision 2030 and global image. A nation's identity is not just about how it sees itself. It's also about how it presents itself to the world. For decades, Saudi Arabia was often viewed through a narrow lens, but Vision 2030 is changing that. It's not just about economic reform, it's about reintroducing Saudi Arabia to the world in a way that feels authentic, modern, and deeply connected to its heritage. I believe that the culture is a key player in Vision 2030. The kingdom is hosting world class events like the Red Sea Film Festival, for example, or Riyadh Season, or Dir'iyah Binali, showcasing Saudi talent and heritage on a global stage. This is not just about westernization, it's about taking ownership of our narrative and showing the world what we truly are. For years, Saudi stories were told by outsiders. Now we are telling our own stories. The Saudi Arabia of today is not the Saudi Arabia of 50 years ago. And the Saudi Arabia of 50 years from now will be different still. The world views Saudi Arabia differently today. The question is not whether globalization is influencing Saudi culture, it's how we choose to engage with it. Social media, travel, and technology have made the world more connected than ever. Young Saudis are exposed to global trends, music, fashion, and ideas at a scale that previous generations never experienced it. But what's interesting is that instead of losing their cultural identity, many are finding ways to integrate it into modern life. I think one challenge of globalization is the risk of losing cultural markers like language, but instead of abandoning Arabic for English, many young Saudis are embracing their delicates in creative ways. Through social media, music, and even branding, we are seeing a revival of interest in old proverbs, traditional phrases, and regional accents that make Saudi identity even more special. Some people fear that embracing global influences means losing tradition, but the reality is Saudis have always been part of a global conversation historically. merchants, travelers, and scholars from this land have exchanged ideas with the world. What's happening now is simply an extension of that, except instead of trade roads, it's through digital platforms or business and creative industries. So culture is related to our heritage, and our heritage is not just about looking back, it's about carrying something forward. And right now, Saudi Arabia is doing exactly that. We are honoring our past, shaping our present, and defining our future, all while staying true to the essence of who we are as Saudis.
I know a lot of Saudis from my time in Boston, and they're very prideful in their identity and their culture. So I think it's something that is so embedded inside of them that it's something that they want to keep because it is so strong. And I think every Saudi is a proud Saudi. That's the impression that I get.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shahad, you talked about Vision 2030. I'm familiar with it to an extent, but some of our audience might not know exactly what it is. Can you talk a little bit about when the vision started? And obviously, their goal is for 2030, as it says in the name. But can you just talk a little bit about where that idea came from and what the goal is, Vision 2030?
So, what exactly is Saudi Vision 2030? Simply put, it's a comprehensive plan launched in 2016 by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, with one clear goal: to reduce Saudi Arabia's dependence on oil and diversify its economy, while improving the quality of life for its citizens. It is a blueprint for long-term uh, national development designed to position the kingdom as a global hub for investment, innovation, and tourism. At its core, Vision 2030 is about unlocking Saudi Arabia's full potential. It's about moving from an oil reliant economy to one that thrives on technology, entertainment, sports, sustainable industries. To truly understand the impact of this vision, we need to break it down into its three key pillars: economic diversification, social transformation, and sustainability. An economic diversification, for decades, oil has been the backbone of Saudi Arabia's economy. Vision 2030 aims to change that by expanding into sectors like technology, tourism, and energy and entertainment. The launch of giga projects like NEOM, a futuristic city powered by clean energy, and the fast growth of heritage tourism through like Dir'iyah and Al Ula reflect this shift. Or the city of entertainment, Giddiya, will open its doors at the end of this year, by the way. When we talk about social transformation, Saudi society is evolving at an unmatched step. The country is embracing modernization while staying true to its cultural identity. And when we talk about sustainability, from launching the Green Saudi Initiative to developing clean energy solutions like solar and hydrogen uh, power, the kingdom is taking major steps towards an environmentally responsible future. For example, the Line Project, revolutionary urban design with zero carbon emissions and smart infrastructure. Now, the real question is: has Vision 2030 made an impact? And the answer is resounding yes. In just a few years, the kingdom has already achieved remarkable milestones. So, Saudi Vision 2030 is not just a dream, it's a reality unfolding before our eyes. It's a story of transformation, leadership, and ambition that is inspiring the world. And the best part, this is just the beginning.
It's incredible what Saudi is doing. Shahad, Saudi, they're building a lot very quickly. Do you think that they're moving too fast in terms of all the infrastructure that they're building? Or do they really think that if they build, people will come?
I think yes, there's fast growth in it. From smart cities to uh, a lot of projects happening at the same time.
But for example, the Red Sea, they have a whole project going on over there where they've built many different resorts. Are those mostly, do they see them for Saudis or are they really expecting an influx of Westerners? I understand for sure people from the Middle East are going to come, but are they really expecting Westerners to come to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, for sure. Vision 2030 targets is not only local, it's local, global, um, all different communities and categories of the people, families, individuals, global, local, um, from different industries, of course. So it's a mindset shift, a new way of thinking about who we are and what we can achieve. The next 5 years will determine how much of this vision becomes a permanent reality. The biggest question is not whether Saudi Arabia can achieve its Vision 2030 goals, it's what happens after. Can our economy stand strong without oil, or can our industries compete on a global scale? Can our cities become models of the future? The answer to all of these is yes, but the work is not done yet. The challenge now is not just to build them, but to make sure they thrive. The next phase of the vision is not just about infrastructure, it's about minds, investing in education, research, and innovation will be the key to ensuring Saudi Arabia remains competitive beyond 2030. The challenge is to preserve Saudi culture while embracing global influences. But instead of seeing this as a conflict, Saudi Arabia is proving that tradition and progress can coexist. We are not choosing between the past and the future, we are carrying both forward. The world is watching Saudi Arabia, sometimes with excitement, sometimes with skepticism. The opportunity here is to continue showing, not just telling the world what the kingdom is capable of, whether through hosting the World Cup or leading in sustainability. Saudi Arabia is writing its own narrative. Talk to any young Saudi today, and you will hear something different from past generations. Saudi youth are not waiting for change, they are creating it, they are launching startups, building tech solutions, and turning fields their parents never imagined. This generation doesn't see limits, they see possibilities. There is one thing history has shown, it's that when Saudis set their minds to something, they make it happen. So the real question is what's next? Whether it's going to be extraordinary.
And what is next for Saudi Arabia?
As we look ahead, the story of Saudi Arabia is still being written, but one thing is certain. It's a story of progress, innovation, and opportunity. And for anyone watching, whether from inside or outside the kingdom, there is something to learn from this journey. So, what inspires me the most is how this vision is not just about Saudi Arabia. It's a leadership model for any country or organization or even individual looking to create impact. It teaches us that real change starts with daring to think big and having the uh, resilience to turn ambitions into action.
Shahad, the World Cup, which I
Yeah,
I think it's going to be 2034, I believe it is. Yeah.
2034.
Saudi Arabia, again, was very closed off for many, many years. And all of a sudden, they're opening up with the entertainment and arts. I believe Formula One is either already there or going there in the future. Concerts are being held. Andrea Bocelli was there, J-Lo was there, Eminem was there. How has that impacted society?
I think there is a new energy in Saudi Arabia, as you can see. You can feel it in the streets, in the stadiums, in the packed concerts halls, and in the excitement of families exploring places they once had to travel abroad to experience. Um, Life here is changing, not just in big projects, but in everyday moments. For many Saudis, the world is no longer something to be watched from a distance. It's here, and they are part of it. A few years ago, if you remember, the idea of an international music festival in Riyadh or a film uh, pre marrying in Jeddah might have seemed impossible. Now it's becoming the norm. Last week, Al Ula hosted Kin Music for the second time. If you have seen the viral TikTok videos, the entertainment and arts industries are not just growing, they are thriving. And more importantly, they are shaping a new kind of social life in Saudi Arabia. The music has always been part of Saudi culture, but now it's reaching new heights. Local and global artists perform in front of massive crowds, giving people experiences they used to only see it online or travel for it. It's not just about entertainment, it's about connection, about um, creating moments in our own cities. Going to the movies used to mean a flight to Bahrain or Dubai. Now, families, friends, and young creatives are filling cinemas across the kingdom. Even more exciting, Saudis are not just watching, they are telling their own stories, making films that reflect their reality, their humor, their struggles, and their dreams. For decades, Saudis traveled abroad to experience cultural landmarks and entertainment. Today, they are discovering that some of the world's most breathtaking landscapes, historical sites, and unique experiences exist right here. Whether it's hiking in the mountains of Abha, diving in the Red Sea, or walking through the old streets of Al Ula, Saudi Arabia is not just welcoming the world, it's reintroducing itself to its own people. This shift is making space for everyone to find their place in Saudi Arabia's evolving identity. If there is one thing that truly unites people, it's sports. And in Saudi Arabia, the passion for sports has turned into something bigger. It's a statement of ambition, of pride, of being part of the global stage. The sound of Formula One cars roaring through Jeddah or Diriyah is more than just a race. It's an icon of where Saudi Arabia is headed. Football has always been the heartbeat of Saudi sports, but now with global superstars playing in the Saudi Pro League, it's become more than just a local passion. It's an international spectacle. Young players now have role models in their own cities, and the dream of making it big doesn't have to start outside our borders. For years, Saudis have traveled the world to cheer for their team. In 2034, the world will come here. Hosting the FIFA World Cup is not just about football, it's about proving that Saudi Arabia is ready, capable, and eager to welcome millions to experience the energy, passion, and culture of this nation. For a long time, change in Saudi Arabia was something people talked about happening one day. That one day is now. The best part, this is not just a phase, it's the new Saudi Arabia, and it's just getting started.
It's absolutely incredible what Saudi is doing. It really is inspiring. And, talking about sports, Cristiano Ronaldo coming to Saudi definitely helped put Saudi on the map. But I wanted to ask you, what message would you like to send the West about Saudi and its people? Something that if you could scream from the top of the mountain and say, if only you knew this about Saudi and its people, what would you like them to take away from this?
What I would really um, like the West to know about Arabs and especially Saudis is that we are not the stereotypes they might see in movies or the media. We are modern, traditional at the same time. We are proud of our roots, but we are also forward thinking, creative, and ambitious. In Saudi, for example, there's this amazing blend of old and new. You can walk through a historical market and in the morning and attend a tech conference in the evening. Our culture is deeply centered around hospitality and respect. We take care of each other and we love to welcome people in. Also, the Arab world is not one big block. Each country and even each region within a country like Saudi Arabia has its own culture, food, uh, delicate, and traditions. Someone from Jeddah might have a totally different vibe from someone in the uh, Najd or Eastern province. And that's something that makes our world really rich and interesting. And let's not forget the youth. We have got a whole generation that's educated uh, and full of ideas. We are building startups, producing art, leading in science, and contributing globally in ways that often don't get much attention. So, yeah, we are not just what the headlines say. We are diverse, passionate, and very much part of the future.
Well said. I love that. That's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to visit Saudi. Inshallah, I'm planning a trip for the end of this year. Shahad, it has been such a pleasure. I learned so much about the country and the identity and the people and Vision 2030. Saudi has so much to offer, and I'm just really excited that you came on the podcast, One in Tribe.
Thank you again for having me on this incredible discussion. And I look forward to seeing how this vision continues to unfold and inspire the world.
Thank you, Shahad, and I hope to meet you one day in person.
For sure, me too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.